Hey everybody, Chip Show here, and I'm here to tell you what I picked up in January and February of 2020. First up, I'm going to show you the modern stuff. I got two PS4 games, and I beat one of them recently, and that was Lego City Undercover. I think this is a very solid game. If you are a fan of the Lego games, definitely check this out. And if you want a really fun co-op game with your buddy, your kid, your wife, whatever, definitely pick this up. This is a lot of fun. Though I do hear that the Wii U version, for whatever reason, doesn't have co-op. I don't know why, but on the PS4 and on the Switch, it does have the co-op, so definitely go for that if you want. And the next PS4 game I got was Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition. I never played this game when it first came out. I heard a lot of really good things, and I picked this up at Gaming Generations for around $13, and it was sealed. So I was like, absolutely have to pick that up. Next up, the only Switch game I got is Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. I got the physical version because it comes with 3 cards. The cards are in the binder, and I don't feel like getting them, but they're pretty cool cards. I am a big fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. It's what I grew up on, and I love the card games, so it's really cool to have a portable little Yu-Gi-Oh! Game I can play before a big tournament, and it's a lot of fun. It's a cool trip down memory lane. Next up, I picked up a few PS2 games, and the first one I picked up in January was Twisted Metal Black. Now, I love the Twisted Metal games, and this is by far my favorite out of the entire series. And what I love the most about this is that it's really dark and it's just brutal. And I love that about Twisted Metal. And I love the other games, but this one is by far my favorite. And it's the one I have the most memories of playing back in the day. And it's just one of those games that I needed in my collection. It was just like, dude, why don't I have this game? And it is on the PS4 if you want to get it digitally, but I like the physical copy more. Sure, it doesn't have the manual, but it is what it is. Next up, we got Madden 2005. This is my favorite Madden game of all time. I love playing this game. As a matter of fact, the day I got it, I played it for like 2 hours straight, and I couldn't put this down. I do remember playing this as a kid, and this is the only Madden game I really love. For whatever reason, I just can't get into the other Madden games. And some of them are pretty cool. But this one, I just love the most. And my favorite football game of all time actually is NFL Blitz on the N64. But this is definitely a close second. And the last PS2 game I picked up was Bully. Bully is a game I never played as a kid. And it's always been something that I was interested in, and I don't know why I just never picked it up. And I hear rumor that they are making another Bully game. Either that's a reboot, sequel, or something like that. And I just kind of wanted to pick up the first one before a new game comes out and test to see if I like it or not. And I still haven't played it yet, but I'll let you guys know if I do, and I am looking forward to this. You guys know I love the N64, and I love wrestling just as much as the N64, so I'm on my way to get the entire wrestling set for the N64, and I'm almost there. The ones I picked up last couple of months were WCW Nitro. Sadly, this game really sucks. When I was testing it, I didn't even know how the controls worked. This is just a bad game, though it is by THQ. They would make better wrestling games, trust me. Like this one. WCW versus NWO World Tour. This is a fantastic game. It's the beginning of the Aki engine, if you're familiar with how No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, or WCW NWO Revenge plays, you'll understand how this works. The only problem I have with this game is that it doesn't have the entrances, which I know may be a nitpick, but I love watching wrestlers' entrances, and I love listening to entrance music, so that's kind of my only gripe. However, this is still a really fun game, and yeah. Next up, WCW Mayhem. Yeah, we're going WCW all night, aren't we? This is also another game that really does suck, but the entrances are cool, and it is more fun than the WCW Nitro game, but it's not by much. And lastly, a game that is severely dated, but honestly, this is still a very fun game if you know how to play it, and that's WWF Warzone. Yeah, this game is extremely dated. The entrances look cool, the music sounds amazing, but for whatever reason, it just controls awfully, and I just can't, like, it's hard to play this game nowadays. But I would imagine back in the day, this was like the most mind-blowing shit ever. I did play this on the PS1, and I do prefer the PS1, but I'm going for a complete wrestling collection on the N64, and I'm almost there. The only ones I need is WWF Attitude, WCW Backstage Assault, and the ECW game. I forget which one that was called. I think it was Hardcore Revolution, but those are the only wrestling games I need for my N64 collection. But as far as non-wrestling games for the N64 that I picked up, the first one is Bomberman Hero. I love the Bomberman games. They are just sit down and have fun with a bunch of friends. And I know there's one Bomber game that's like really ridiculously expensive, but this one was on the cheap. This was like $10, and I had to pick it up. So yeah, Bomberman. What can go wrong? And lastly, my favorite N64 game, and I'm so happy I picked this up, was Super Mario 64. This is my favorite N64 game besides Resident Evil 2, but I'm biased. But I love this game so much. I played this game so much as a kid, and I still play it to this day, and I just love this game so much. Out of all the 3D Mario games, while I think Galaxy might be my favorite, this one still holds up for me on a nostalgic level, because I just love this game so much, and the music is fantastic, and like it's a magical experience when you control Mario for the first time in this game, because it's like, wow, you can go anywhere you want, and it's like, whoa, dude. But yeah, Mario 64, awesome game. I did pick up some anime, and the first one we're going to start off with the DVDs. I got His and Her Circumstances, the complete set, all 5 volumes, and I got it for like $10, and yeah, this is a pretty good pickup, honestly. If you are a fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion, this was directed by the same person, Hideaki Anno, and I've never seen this one. I hear a lot of really good things, and that's the only reason why I bought it. I'm not a big fan of blind buying anime, but I've heard from a lot of good people that this anime is fantastic, and I trust them. So hopefully, buy a big steaming pile of crap. But I mean, hey, what can go wrong? The next pickups I got were a bunch of Blu-rays because they were on sale, and I took advantage of that. But first, I did get Hunter x Hunter, the first 3 seasons, and I love this series a lot. It's by Togashi, the guy who did Yu Yu Hakusho, and Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, so I felt obligated to pick up this series. Let's get the big box set out of the way. The first one we got is Harry Potter, the Film Collection. I'm a pretty big casual fan of the Harry Potter movies. I've only read the 3rd book because Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite, and I do like the movies quite a bit, and so, hey, this was on sale. This was like $10 at the pawn store I go to, and I was like, hey, why not? I could have a Harry Potter night. Be kind of fun. Next up, Us. Now, I haven't seen this movie yet, but I'm a big fan of Get Out, and I thought that was a fantastic movie. So, when I heard that this was by the same director, I was just like, yeah, I gotta watch it. And from what I hear, people do like this movie, so I am very looking forward to checking that out. Speaking of Get Out, this is from the producers, but I got Ma. Ma was a interesting concept, and that's the best way I can describe this movie. It's not the best horror movie of all time, but this was definitely something that was very unique, and that's the best way I can describe it. If this is on Netflix or any streaming service that's free and you can watch it, I would recommend it, but maybe not the Blu-ray. This was a blind buy for me, and I don't regret it because I did enjoy the movie, but I don't think I'm going to watch it over and over again. But the next movie I will be watching over and over again because it's The Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler is fantastic. Jake Gyllenhaal is great in this role, and I love this movie a lot. I watched it when it first came out, and I for whatever reason, I just never got the Blu-ray for this movie, and I was just like, why don't I have this? And so now that I do have it, and I can watch it over and over again via Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray does look really good, and I'm a big fan of that movie. Speaking of me being a big fan, I love Psycho. Yes, Alfred Hitchcock's classic. This is probably my favorite Hitchcock movie. I haven't seen everything by him, but yeah, this is the one that I like the most out of the ones I have seen. And yeah, I watched a little bit of Bates Motel, and that's kind of what got me to buy this Blu-ray. And I love it, and it's a great movie. I'm not sure about the sequels because I've never seen them, but I know that this is a classic, and I had to get it. Last two pickups I got was Child's Play, the remake. Pretty solid movie, but it's not my favorite Chucky movie. I love Mark Hamill's performance, but a lot of the other actors and actresses were a little bit stale, in my opinion. And the last pickup I got is Al Pacino's Scarface, the Steelbook edition. It was my first time watching it last month, and I absolutely love this movie. I love Al Pacino's performance, and being a big fan of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I definitely see the correlations between the two and the similar scenes, and it's awesome. It's the reason why I wanted to pick up this movie is because I love Vice City so much, and yeah, this is definitely a movie I would watch over and over again, definitely. Well, that's everything I picked up in the last couple of months. Big thanks to Stuff We Play, Warpbait, and Nia Chan for supporting me on Patreon. You guys rock.